So, last week I said that next week I'm going to be talking about a game which came around kind of in the same era as this game, the PS2 era. Stick around for next week and find out what I mean by that. I'm going to push that video to next week. Because, as you see from the title of the day, this isn't a PS2 game. This is a game that's resurfaced this week. And for a good reason. I'll get into that in a bit. But I just figured I wanted to talk about this game because this game is from one of my most beloved franchises, and this game sucked. What do I mean by that? You've seen the title. I'm talking about Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Not gonna mention Ground Zeroes because Ground Zeroes, it's just basically a paid demo, is what it is. We're not gonna get into that. The Phantom Pain. Why do I dislike it? Why do I think it was a huge disappointment? What my basic topics about this game I'm gonna get into in the rest of the video. Stick around, you'll find out what I mean by that. So, Metal Gear Solid 5. First of all, this game resurfaced because there was a cutscene which no one had properly achieved before. People just fucked around with the files and found the cutscene. But recently, someone legitimately got to the cutscene. I'm not sure what 100% it was for, but someone achieved it. And it's fun to see that a game that was released in 2015, correct me if I'm wrong, editing Carl, still has an active community. But that's not our topic today. Metal Gear Solid 5 is a shitty Metal Gear. It is probably the worst Metal Gear. Now hold your horses and hear me out on this one. As a game on its own, it's a good game. As a Metal Gear game, it sucks. Before I continue, I need to stress something. I'm a huge Metal Gear fan. Some might even say that I am a fanboy, to the extent that I loved Metal Gear Solid 4. I know that it's a shit game. I know that for a fact. It is not one of the best games ever made, but personally, for me, I love the game. It's just fan service. It has, some might say it has too many unskippable cutscenes. Yes, for someone who doesn't care for Metal Gear, 4 is a shitty game, they won't care for it, but someone like me, 4 is basically heaven for them. But that's not the topic today. That's just to show you how much I love Metal Gear, how much I love this franchise, because this franchise, something which it does magnificently most of the time, is that it has fantastic gameplay and a fantastic story. Hideo Kojima nails it with this one, with this franchise, I should say. Story is there, gameplay is there, both of them. With 4, there was no gameplay, pretty much no gameplay, but I'm relatively speaking when you're talking about Metal Gear, and a lot of story, some might say too much story, but I loved it. With 5, there was no story. The story was there. I'm not neglecting the fact that there is, technically speaking, a story, but it is not a Metal Gear story. It's not, I don't mean that it doesn't, how do I explain this without seeming like a dick? It doesn't feel like Metal Gear. There is not enough effort put into it. What do I mean by that? Before I get into details of what this game does wrong, I'm going to talk about what this game does right. Gameplay. This game just fucking rules as gameplay goes. Obviously not talking about Ground Zeroes, because Ground Zeroes is basically a demo which you had to pay full price for. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about the Phantom Pain, because the gameplay in both of the games are the same, but the gameplay in the Phantom Pain is fantastic. I can't deny that. Phantom Pain is a fuck ton of fun to play. A lot of gameplay mechanics are in the Phantom Pain, but they're just never picked up by any other game. And I don't mean just Metal Gear, I mean any other game. This game just did a lot of good shit as gameplay goes. I can't deny that. This game, as a game on its own, is fantastic. It's phenomenal. The gameplay, you cannot have no fun while playing this game. It is a fantastic game. But I can't help but feel sad when thinking about it, because take the logo, the 5 in the logo. Now, I won't be spoiling the story in this video, even though the game's 5 years old. I'm not going to spoil anything about the story. But one thing I will say about this logo, and it shows you the potential that this game had at being a very good Metal Gear game. The 5 in the logo, you see that it's a dot and it splits into 2. A hint at the villain in the game, that's all I'm going to say. That just rips my heart out and stabs it 57 times, because it shows that they could have cared more, they could have put more into it. I kind of understand why there was less of a Metal Gear feel for it, because around this time, Hideo Kojima was being prepared to leave. He was packing his bags and was like, fuck everyone here, I'm out, see ya. And he then made Death Stranding. But still, you can't help but look at what kind of potential this game could have had. Had they put as much effort and as much thought into it as they usually put in Metal Gear games, it would have aced it. It would have probably been within my top 10 best games ever made. But it's not. You see, once on Top Gear, they were talking about a certain Lamborghini. Not going to get into technical names now. But one thing that I think Jeremy Clarkson said, he said, this is a fantastic car, but this is a shitty Lamborghini. And it is the exact same thing that's happening here. This is a fantastic game, but it's a shitty Metal Gear. And I can't get around that fact. So, all in all, people are going to hate me for this, but this game disappointed me. I mean, it is a good game. Some people love this, some people consider it to be one of their best games ever made, but for me it doesn't. It doesn't hit that. When you put a certain logo in something, and you make it within a certain franchise, there are standards which it has to meet. This game doesn't meet them. That's just for me though. Whatever happens, you have, they're completely fine. You can leave your opinion in the comments. Have rational discussions, for the love of God, in the comments. And yeah. Prepare for the hate that's about to come upon me. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you're enjoying my content. Twitter and Discord are in the description as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. As always, stay safe. Peace.